Welcome to a special edition of Resting Binge Face, where two friends binge watch seasons of Game of Thrones and we talk about it in preparation for the 8th and final season premiering April 14th. I'm Adam McCoy.
I'm Amanda Kathleen. Adam and I work in TV. We watch a lot of TV. If we could have a house like in Game of Thrones, it would probably be Amanda Kathleen from House Television.
Our sigil would just be
a TV.
Yeah.
Adam McCoy from House Television. And so that brings us to this week, where we are going to recap Game of Thrones Season 1. If you haven't seen Season 1, please go watch Season 1, or just listen to us talk about it. Because obviously you don't care enough to watch the greatest show
of all
ever.
Time.
I mean, that's a hard one to say, but I feel like it is.
It's up there, for sure.
It's in the top
1.
Adam, I hear you have some slight knowledge to drop on us today.
Yeah, it's just since we're only doing season specific, I'll do a very basic overview for the first one here.
Okay.
In case you don't know, so Game of Thrones is an HBO series based on George R.R. Martin's books, A Song of Fire and Ice. It's a whole series that he made. The first book of which is called Game of Thrones, which is the title HBO took for the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
But the series itself in the book form is called A Song of Fire and Ice. First book was written in 1991. It wasn't published until 1996. And since then, he's published 5 books: Game of Thrones, A Clash of Kings, A Storm of Swords, Feast of Crows, and the 5th and most recent volume of the series was published in 2011, A Dance with Dragons. Now, he's going to release 2 more.
I don't know how this is possible.
Eventually, and they will be called The Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring. Eventually. If he doesn't die first. And then finally, HBO decided to create the show. David Benoff and D.B. Wise wrote the show and created the show. It's filmed in Belfast, Northern Ireland, Canada, Croatia, Iceland, Malta, Morocco, Scotland, and Spain, and the United States. And it premiered on HBO in the United States on April 17th, 2011. And the 7th season ended on August 27th, 2017.
We've been waiting that long.
A long time.
I started watching it maybe when Season 3 came out. One, I didn't have HBO. So once my mom got HBO, I immediately stole her login and started watching Game of Thrones.
The cable police will get you. Yeah, I think my wife and I started watching it Season 4. We binged all the way through at the end of Season 4. That makes sense, because I think we've had 3 seasons of having to wait a whole year for the show to start back up again, which is painful.
Yeah, it's been... Because I forgot, like, everything. Like, rewatching this season, everything, like, sets up motions for stuff, and you're watching it, you're like, oh, that one scene in that one season's so good. And you're just remembering, like, everything, and you're like, oh, I forgot this happens in this season.
You forget how much stuff happens in just one season. They cram it so full.
Yeah. Rewatching Season 1, the first episode, like, you see everyone. Like,
everybody's there.
Everyone's there. It's a family reunion. You forget how
young
everyone looks, how not forlorn everyone looks, how beaten down everyone got.
Fresh-faced, young, and happy.
Yeah. Everyone's happy. Everyone's a sweet summer child in this episode.
Oh, you sweet child. I've never seen a winter.
No.
As it goes on, you watch the whole season. It's just so jam-packed of stuff
that
I was thinking was later on in the show. Some of the things, I'm like, oh, I thought that was later. You forget that some of the stuff all happened in the very first season. Some of these events that happened.
I don't think that I forgot that it happened in the first season. I just think I forgot about them in general.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, in particular, Tyrion in, like, episode 6, when Catelyn Stark took Tyrion because she thought that
he's the one who
tried to kill Bran. And so he declares a trial by combat.
Oh, yeah.
And I totally forgot he did that. And I was like, wait, he's done it twice?
Oh, yeah. That's his go-to move.
He's like, I'm short, I know.
The first one ended much better than the second time he tries it. Spoiler alert. Not to depress anybody out there.
It's very depressing.
Yeah.
But but I forgot that he does a lot of try by combats, apparently.
Yes.
Because I forgot that this happened. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. He does do try by combat.
Everybody agrees because they don't think about that he could substitute somebody else for himself.
Right.
So they're like, oh, sure.
Yeah, sure, you dumb imp.
You're not going to bring in a hired gun to kill everybody.
Yes.
But he does.
He does. What are the things that you forgot happened?
No, just how much of it happened. How much of it happened in that first season. It was because there was. I mean, the whole process of Tyrion getting kidnapped, and then breaking free, then getting the Hill people.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
I totally forgot about the Hill people.
With his dad and leading the fight at the end.
I was like, who are these people? What is happening here? I don't remember this whatsoever.
That's why you need to go back and binge each season.
You really do. But yeah, I forgot about the Hill people.
I will say one thing about going back and watching Jaime's character now, having seen the show up to date, he's more likable even when he's doing things that you don't like. Now, I still see
I think, like, the first time I saw it, I still kind of liked him, even though he was a dick.
Yeah, you know. But I think I felt more sorry for him talking about the Mad King and killing the Mad King and all this kind of stuff, and everyone was giving him
he was also, like, if you think about it, like, how old he is, like, he had to be so young to do that.
So anyway, I was interesting. Saw him in a slightly different light. Not that I would completely hated him the first time I saw it, because he is definitely more likable than his sister or his son/nephew.
I forgot how much I hate Joffrey. God, I hate Joffrey. I was like, no one is worse than Joffrey. And then I remembered the other bastard.
Oh, Bolton. Bolton. Yeah. Hey, it can always get worse.
And then that led to what would happen if Joffrey and Bolton got together, because that would be fantastic.
Like, as lovers or
no,
just
like in forces? A room. Like, I want to see them, like, fighting out in a room.
Oh, Bolton would destroy him.
Well, I know, but, like, Joffrey could, like, tell someone to do something. But he's just the worst. I forgot how much I hated him. He's just going to string along for, like, several seasons.
Just a very unlikable character.
He really is. Like the actor that plays Joffrey does a very good job.
Yes, of being an ass that you hate, essentially.
You really hate him. Like, there's really no likable moment, I don't think.
Which, honestly, is not going to be great for him, because he's going to have a hard time getting other roles, I would think. Like, if he goes...
all they see is Joffrey.
Like a romantic comedy. They're like, nope, sorry. Just turn around. We're not even going to have you audition for it. I hate you.
I hate you. What you did was terrible. Like, the entire time I'm watching, I'm like, God, Sansa, you just don't even know what's coming. I was like the shit that you're going to get put through is going to be terrible.
It's going to be really bad.
I'd be like, you should much want to be Arya right now. Like, Arya is like, I don't know. I feel like Arya had a better journey.
I would think so. She was a little more independent and not forced to be subservient to two horrible men / boys.
And then also Baelish. I was like, God, this is when I kind of liked you, but...
Yeah, you're on the fence with him. Spoiler. He's not a nice guy.
He is not a nice guy. What I took away from it was, during the last episode, like, he legitly wants to be king.
Oh, that's all he wants.
Like, legitly. Like, after watching the whole season again, and then his conversation with Varys. His conversation with Varys, talking about the throne.
Yes.
Varys never wanted to be anything. He just wanted, to be in a position of power. But removed power.
Not at the top.
Right, but their whole conversation about...
You can just see the greed in Littlefinger's eyes.
Like, you just see it, and I'm just like, God, you just really want to be king, don't you?
He's like a toddler. He just wants what he wants.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want anyone else to take it from him.
That selfishness that leads to his demise. Dumb Baelish. Also, what I forgot about during the season is boobs.
How many boobs there are.
Because, like, towards the end, like, away from boobs.
I was reading somewhere that they averaged it out, and there are, if you average out the entire first season, there are 5.5 boobs on average per episode. I don't know how that works out.
I don't know how that works out either.
But yeah, there's a lot of them.
I forget that. Because towards the end, there wasn't that many boobs or naked people in general.
I think that was a ploy to get people into the show more, like to get people talking about it.
It's definitely like geek porn, like as you're watching it.
Like I think they feature more of that than is in the book. I mean, I will say I've read the first 4 books. George R.R. Martin's got some issues if you read. He's a little too into some of the scenes, the way he writes them. But there's just more of it in the TV show than there was in the books.
Right.
So, I think they did that intentionally to get everyone talking about it, getting them to watch it.
Come on, watch Game of Thrones. We got boobs. And some penises.
A little bit.
And
lots of
leave
gore.
out the ladies and the gay dudes.
That's right. You gotta include everybody. Be inclusive.
So episode 1 introduces everyone. We see House Stark, House Lannister, House kind of Targaryen, the 2 leftover kids.
What's left of the house? Yes.
From the Mad King takeover.
Mm-hmm.
So you're introduced to everyone.
Khal Drogo,
who will marry Daenerys. Well, who's like, her brother like sells her to Drogo for an army, so that way he could take back
the Iron
King's
King,
Landing,
the Iron Throne,
for his family and take it back from Robert Baratheon, which I miss. Well, I'm sad that it was only 1 season with him.
Robert Baratheon. Character. Yeah, he's good.
He was good. Also, Ned Stark was good. He's a nobleman.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Oh, God.
Amanda.
I got that spoiled for me when I didn't realize it.
Oh.
Jimmy Fallon was doing a skit or something.
Oh, I've seen that one, yes.
And, like, I didn't know what was going on, and then I started watching Game of Thrones, and I was like, God damn it.
I know what's going to happen.
I know what's going to happen.
So
spoiled it.
So Robert Baratheon is the king. The Hand of the King dies. He goes to get his old friend Ned to come back and be of House Stark to be the Hand of the King to come back to King's Landing.
And then all hell breaks loose after that.
In a nutshell.
He
brings his 2 daughters back with him.
Sansa is betrothed to Joffrey.
Before he leaves, Bran's climbing
a tower because he climbs things. He's very good at it, by the way.
I've seen you climb in the wind and the rain. You've never fallen until today. He's climbing up a tower and he sees
that good old twin incest happening between Jaime,
Cersei, and Jaime, the 2 Lannister twins, getting it on.
And then what does Jaime say? The things I do for love, and then pushes Bran out the window.
Right out the window. But he doesn't die.
He doesn't die.
Because he's paralyzed. He has some dreams about birds.
Mm-hmm.
They go back to King's Landing.
He has some dreams about birds.
That'll all make sense later on.
Ravens.
That's one difference in the book and the TV show. Mm-hmm. In the book, they 3-eyed crow. Everything was crows. Oh. I like the wording raven much better.
I like raven better.
It sounded weird to me.
Also,
the 3-eyed crow.
Crap about a crow.
They're essentially the same thing, right?
I know, but the way raven sounds way better.
Yeah. Tell heart, hark the raven.
Nevermore. So they get back to King's Landing. Ned's there, figuring out things of why Jon Arryn, why he passed.
Mm-hmm.
Because his wife, who is Catelyn Stark's sister, sent her a message saying that the Lannisters killed her husband.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So Ned's on the investigation. And it leads to him finding out all of Robert's kids are not Robert's kids.
Because they all have blonde hair.
And
he has black hair.
Right.
And genetics say that can't happen.
Well, also, he finds, like, 2 bastard children.
So they're actual heirs to the throne.
Right, they are actual
blood heirs to the throne.
Which reminds me, so, like, I know his son, like, the bastard son of Robert Baratheon.
Mr. Blacksmith.
He has, like, stuff to do and stuff throughout the show. But what about that baby? Like, I've never heard of that baby ever again.
If there's an older heir, I guess that's all that matters, is the older one.
I guess, but, like, he's got 2 kids. In season 2, doesn't Cersei, like...
I think so.
Oh, okay. She pulls, like, I want all the kids dead, and then, like...
Like a biblical, all the firstborn.
I don't remember, but I will find out in a couple weeks when we watch season 2.
You can find out, too, when we do. In the meantime, Jon Snow, the bastard son of Ned Stark. Bastard son?
The bastard son.
Question mark? Goes to the wall for the night to join the Night's Watch. Makes all kinds of great friends. Loves his master in arms.
And stealers and...
Mm-hmm. There's words of whites and White Walkers out there.
Mm-hmm. The White Walkers. Hashtag zombies.
Goes back to the wall. Tyrion goes with him to the wall.
Has
some good conversations. He goes back to King's Landing. Stops off at Winterfell. Gives some nice plans for some braces for Bran to ride a horse, even though he's paralyzed. Right. Because he has a soft spot for cripples and broken things.
Which they think that Tyrion tried to kill Bran.
Yes.
After he fell, he was still alive, and Cersei was worried about it. So I think Cersei planned it. Pretty much 100%, right?
Yes.
Isn't that what we're going to find out? To have someone stab Bran and just kill him off for good. Because Jaime, the entire time, Jaime's like, what's he going to do with a boy?
Nobody cares.
No one's going to care. And I think you see that soft spot of Jaime. And then you see, like, the harder part of Cersei that's going to, like, evolve over time.
That contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So somebody tries to kill Bran. His direwolf stops him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until they trace back the knife that was used to try to kill Bran.
And Littlefinger said, oh, that came from Tyrion Lannister. That came from
Tyrion. I know, because we play poker together, and he won it from me.
So Catelyn kidnaps Tyrion eventually.
Yes, and then
takes him up to the
whole battle thing happens.
Challenge him, so yeah.
I forget about the sky jails, though. They're very cool.
Yeah, it's creepy. It's a way to make somebody go mad, for sure.
Like one of the walls is just going to lean out. You're just going to roll over and die, fall out of the thing. Also, I forget how creepy that kid is with his mom, like Catelyn's sister.
Oh, yeah,
and he's, like, still breastfeeding at age, like, 12 or something.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It's weird.
That woman is crazy.
She's a nut. She's been in too many sky cells for a while.
Geez. You know what I think? I think Baelish set all that up. Man.
Oh, I think so. Domino effect.
Domino effect.
Yes.
For sure. Because later on, Baelish gets with the aunt. So, 100%. And then you forget that Baelish runs
the brothel.
The brothel. I forgot that.
He's a brothel man. They have the character Roz, who's a redheaded prostitute. That's one who's not in the books at all.
Oh,
That's why I'm thinking they put a lot more into the TV show than actually happened, because that character does not even exist in the books. But they wrote her a pretty major part in season 1. She had a lot of scenes for somebody who didn't exist in the book at all.
She totally had a lot of scenes.
Yeah. Tyrion escapes. Ned Stark finds out that none of Cersei's children are actually Robert Baratheon's kids.
Correct.
They're all Jaime's probably. And he finds out he has a bastard. He goes to confront Cersei about it. Things don't work out after that.
As Varys says, why the fuck would you tell Cersei that you knew about it?
He's a simple northern boy. He doesn't understand the politics.
He's so noble, man. I'm just like, God dang it, Ned. So Ned gets with Varys and Baelish and is going to overthrow the kingdom because Robert Baratheon has died. Because he was trying to wrestle a boar.
But he was given too much wine.
He was real drunk. So after that happens, Ned's like, Joffrey's not the heir, man. We need to, like, get him out. And they're like, all right, we're behind you 100%.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We're
all on the same page.
We're going. So Robert puts Ned in place of the king until Joffrey comes of age.
Yes.
However, Ned writes down heir of the king.
Heir of the king, not
Joffrey. Because he knows.
His big plan is to get the bastard son
out. And it doesn't go very well because Baelish is a bastard.
And he
what
turns
does he say?
on him.
You should never trust me. I told you not to trust me.
You should have listened.
You should have listened. And so he gets imprisoned. And then eventually Joffrey's like, my mom and Sansa want me to spare his life, but I'm going to cut his head off, guys.
Yay,
get
cheers
ready.
From the crowd.
And they cut his head off.
There goes his head.
Yeah. So meanwhile, while all that's happening, on the other side of the pond, Daenerys is given to Drogo from her brother.
In exchange for an army he will eventually get to take the crown back.
Yes. So they're like on their way to go to the Dothraki headquarters, I guess.
Yes.
So that entire time they're going to the Dothraki headquarters, Daenerys becomes like she was once this frayed little mouse. Now grows over time to become the queen she will be.
Yes.
And
makes Drago fall for her. And his moon and stars, he'll do whatever it takes.
Will do forever,
for her.
Anything for you. And then she's pregnant with his child. Also, one of my favorite scenes is when Drogo pours hot molten gold.
Yes. That is fantastic.
On Daenerys' brother's head, because Daenerys' brother is a dick.
Yes, he is the worst.
He's literally the worst.
I actually dislike him more than I dislike Joffrey. Just because that's his sister, and he did that in the way he treats her in the thing.
So, that happens, and it's wonderful.
Yes.
And then after that, they go pillage some more.
Mm-hmm.
Daenerys is dumb and befriends a witch, because she's doctor. Like, don't rape any of the women. I'll take them. And then the witch doctor, it's like, oh, I'll help cure everything.
Khal Drogo gets an injury, gets in a fight, gets a cut. She tries to heal it, but actually makes him a zombie.
Right.
He's not quite dead, but he's not quite alive.
And she loses her kid because...
And a life for a life.
A life for a life. And so she mercy kills Drogo. Very sad scene. And then it's time for the ritual fire burial. And I'm assuming the queen goes up in flames with the king.
Probably.
That's the whole reason for that. Why Daenerys goes into the fire.
Takes her eggs with her, dragon eggs with her.
Takes her dragon eggs with her. She was gifted dragon eggs at the start of their marriage. They're like old dragon eggs.
Fossilized eggs. They look pretty, but they're not worth anything.
No. So she ties that stupid witch
to the pyre.
Burns her, burns Drogo, goes up in flames, and then the very last scene of the last episode.
Dragons.
She's alive.
Nursing some dragons.
Nursing three very healthy dragons.
Baby dragons.
Those are her kids.
So how that concludes season 1. We got
that concludes season 1. We didn't go through everything.
We got dragons.
Jon
Snow is back at the
wall. He's about to leave to go find his uncle.
Benjen
over
the wall.
Who's lost in the wildling territory over the wall.
Arya has run away to escape persecution.
Run away to the wall.
So
she's headed up to go find Jon.
Sansa's still being held captive, essentially, by Joffrey and Cersei.
Yes.
And Robb Stark is now...
Robb Stark is on his way.
And he's the King of the North.
They have dubbed him King of the North. He has captured Jaime Lannister. However, Joffrey killed Ned.
So they can't...
So now Tywin's like, fuck. What are we going to do?
What's going to happen to me?
Tywin sends Tyrion to King's Landing to be the hand of the king, because he feels like he's smart enough to run it. And Bran is still a cripple, hanging out in Winterfell with his other brother. I forget his name.
Don't get too attached.
I know. And then Theon, who's Theon?
Theon, who
is Theon, and I forget that his name is Theon because the only thing I know him from is Reek.
He's
they drug it in, man.
Son of the Ironborn. He was a squire or essentially a squire to Ned to make up for the betrayal that his father did. And so he's grown up in Winterfell.
Right, but he's
not part of the Starks. He's like
Theon Greyjoy. House Greyjoy. But yes, Theon is Theon, not Reek. And that blows my mind. So that was a quick wrap up. You may want to watch the show. There's a lot happening.
I recommend you watch the show.
There's a lot going on. We're just giving you the basics here. But if it's a good wrap up for you, like, oh yeah, that happened.
Or maybe it whets your appetite and you want to watch it after you listen to us.
Correct.
So really quickly, I'm going to go over a couple of the differences there are a ton of differences in the book. Nothing super, super major, but there are a lot of differences. Some of the biggest ones that I found interesting is they've changed the age of all the children in the series.
Oh, really?
So they're all much younger.
Ooh.
So it's a little creepy. Daenerys is only 13 years old when this happens, when she's promised.
I mean, I get it.
Sansa is 11.
Yeah, but it's the Middle Ages.
I know, but still, I think they had to ramp it up. They had to do that for the television show. People would want to see that.
I guess.
And Robb and Jon are only 14 years old. So it was a 14-year-old king of the North.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Ned is not stabbed when he has a little kerfuffle.
Oh, with Jaime?
His horse falls on him. And Jaime never intends to hurt him. He doesn't even fight him at all.
Oh, well, that makes it better.
Yeah. So Jaime's even more likable in the book version of it. Khal Drogo does not have a fight with Mago, the guy that he fights with who injures him.
Oh.
In the book, he gets a pretty major injury going out to fight another call.
Got it.
And when he comes back. And then from what I remember reading in the book, it's not like the witch woman is intentionally trying to get this to happen. She gives her advice 2 or 3 times saying you shouldn't do this. It's not going to end well.
Right.
And Daenerys does it anyway. So it's not quite as sinister as it is in the TV show.
Ooh, but I like this.
I know, it's still good that way. And the other thing that they just talk about a lot, when Jon throws the lantern at the White to kill the White, he burns the crap out of his arm and his hand.
Well,
they make so many references in the book about him continually having to open and close his hand because his sword hand will not heal right. So he's always got these exercises he has to do, and it's always bothering him.
I mean, you hear him yell as he's throwing it.
They write it over and over again in the book, like, he has to stretch that hand out, or those scar tissue is gonna affect the way you hold your sword. Those are a few of the differences in the book that I found.
It's just a slight difference. Yeah. For season 1, because you've explained to me that they go all over the place in the show. Yeah. But they don't exactly follow.
They don't exactly follow it. Some stuff that happens in season 1 didn't happen until a couple books in. So there's some differences there.
And then we pretty much agree as far as favorite episodes go, that they're all great.
They're all yeah. I can't pick one. It's
right.
I think I would rather do at the end. Pick your favorite season.
Ooh,
we can do that.
We can do pick your favorite season. So that leads us to, in 2 weeks, we will be doing season 2. So you guys have time to listen to this one, maybe watch season 1 and season 2, and then we'll recap season 2 until April.
Yes.
Until we get to the
We'll keep going. 14th. Every 2 weeks, we'll watch another season.
Yes.
And then tomorrow,
we'll
be releasing an episode on Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, Season 3.
Season 3, the last one. I'm already sad.
Yes. So stay tuned for that.
Yes, please tune in for that. If you like that show or you want to watch a new show, you should totally do it.
Yep.
Thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also, you can leave us a comment if there's things we didn't talk about Game of Thrones, or if you want us to cover something specific in Game of Thrones.
Let us know.
Please let us know, because we will do it then.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy listening to us even more. We will see you bingers
next week.
Bye.